Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
I never learned how to lift into the light, those quiet truths that tremble at the edge of my tongue, pressing to the page of my past, a familiar echoes that hum in the hollow of my heart. Back then, I let my silence speak for me, soft, scared, stumbling through the sentence I should have said. I held back whole hurricanes of honesty while you hid behind a half-truth, acting like the air behind us wasn't cracking. You left me with echoes instead of answers, with still inside of serenity. And I'm still standing here with one breath, letting it lift everything unsaid into the open air. Saving my last breath to tell what I didn't know to say. My face spoke when my lips could not. Let angels carry these words where my silence couldn't. I'm still standing on the bones of every battle that tried to break me, on the echoes of nights when the darkness felt endless, on the weight of walls, the hill slower than the word expected. I walked through fire and came out glowing. I carried my heartbreak and turned it into armor. I faced the world with a slow snatch back together by faith, grit, and the quiet whisper of keep going. And I did, and I am, and I will. I'm still standing, and every breath I take is proof that I got this. I planted my feet and proved my power. I stand, I shine, showing up because I always have got this. I believe in me, and this fire is here to stay. The fire that is speaking sparks, is sang in the spirit, soft but serenity, a holy heat humming through my heart. It says, child, you are chosen. You're a carry calling cruising into your core, while the world tried to water me down. God fainted and flit into a future when I trembled. His light lifted me, and I stepped into the closure to his work. The fire whispered, wisdom. Fight with faith, follow his flame, find your footing in the Father. So I stood still in his presence, and the blame became a blessing, burying away what broke me, birthing what built me. This is not your fire alone. This is the fire God forged you in you. And I answer, I became the flame because his breath is fire in me. Behold, I am becoming. Behold, I am breaking all things new. Revelation 21:5.
They said wear heels, but not the kind that make noise when you walk. They said wear makeup, but not too much or you'll look desperate. They said stay slim, but not too slim or they'll think you're anorexic. They said smile, girl. Smile through the catcalls. Smile when he interrupts you mid-sentence. Smile when he touches your back in the break room. Smile when you have more seniority but get paid less. They said be soft-spoken, be polite, be agreeable. Don't talk back. Don't speak too loud. Don't speak too often. Don't have an opinion. They said you're lucky to be pretty. They said beauty opens doors, but they didn't mention the locks on the inside. They want us to perform femininity like a fucking Broadway show, yet I'm still paid less for the ticket. My eyeliner's flawless, but my opinions are too emotional. My laugh is gentle, but my no gets ignored. My nails are pretty and sharp, but so is my mind that no one notices. I walk through the parking garage afraid with keys between my knuckles. I smile when I want to scream. I say thank you when I'm afraid. I've smiled through insults, laughed through fear, swallowed down rage, just to say calm and safe. Well, not anymore. I carry decades of silence in my mouth. Now it spills out in screams. You wanted obedience, but I came for a riot. I won't be your mannequin, your other woman, your mood boost, your soft distraction. I'm not your angel, your arm candy, your therapy and heels. I'm not your calm down, your ego stroke, your good little girl. I was a good little girl for years, and I'm done with that. I'm not here to soothe you, not here to amuse you. I'm here to undo you. I will not smile for your comfort. I will not shrink to fit your frame. This body is mine. This voice is mine. I'm not asking anymore.
You looking like my next girl. My ex-girl, my best girl, mama and them was from Michigan. Kiss so good, I'd kiss her 4 times before she leave, and she still asks me to kiss again. Your body so sweet, it make me weep like Jesus and them. Wishing I could wipe your feet, carry you to the sheets like you my precious queen, to be protected and pleased. Stroked, choked, and throated, touched on the back of the knee. I'd be giving sharp spanks to the good girl because I know that's what good girls need. Damn, baby, I see you over there shaking that thing like it's made to move, made to groove. What you gonna do with all that bounce? Need to swing that thing over my way and let me wear it out. Tongue first. So the feeling of my tongue can get caught haunting your curves. My kiss on your neck may send chills across your flesh, but that's only because it's been so long since you felt like that. My aim is to give you the worst nightmares of 100 lifetimes to the good girl. Nightmares of me leaving her side, you giving me reason to start watching Euphoria. And finding more inventive ways to say purple haze all through my brain. A good girl can still be a wild thing. My good girl would be. You can be as wild as you want to, but be my good girl and always come when I call. Come and we can hide away inside the pages of your favorite books. Come and breathe my rhythm. A kiss so our hearts will beat in sync. Come and live with me, and we'll live all our dreams vividly in the highest definition. Kissed by you by the fountain, then reach down and found you dripping. 444 flower petals on the bed when we made love. She wanted my tongue to keep her warm, so I was glad to wear the earmuffs. Thighs and legs, her lovely angel wings all on my fucking face. Your young boy hit a lick, and she was the delicious taste. And of course, she wants more. That's what that magic do when it hits you in your core. Light beams of light rings of what if I could be the apple of your eye? Sometimes I get hypnotized looking in your eyes, and then that turns to thinking about your thighs, and then that turns to thinking about your size and how it feels to be underneath, under cardiac arrest, neglected. I'd put your flag, I'd put our on a flag, and best believe I'm repping. I heard your heart had a death wish, so I'm sending you a necklace.
I don't chase closure anymore. I don't dig up graves hoping for apologies from ghosts who never learned how to stay. I stopped rereading old messages as if they might change their tone. Some silence is the message. I used to think healing meant getting every answer, finding the missing puzzle piece, standing in front of someone who finally understood what they did to me. But understanding isn't always part of the story, and closure doesn't always knock politely. Sometimes it never knocks at all. So I built my own exit. I stopped waiting at doors that open only to take, never to welcome. I choose peace now. Even if it comes without explanation, I choose rest. Even when the past tries to tap me on the shoulder, I light candles with no one to impress. I laugh without needing a witness. I spend time alone and call it company. There's a freedom in no longer needing the ending to justify the beginning. What we shared existed, but it doesn't have to last to be real. So I'm not chasing closure anymore. Not because I don't care, but because I care about me more. I protect my peace like it's sacred. I water what grows, I bless what leaves, and I welcome what stays. And if the apology never comes, I'll still forgive. Not for them. Never for them. But for the girl I used to be, who deserved better. And she finally got it in me.
Addiction knocks. On time, suit pressed, clipboard out, prepared for a signature I keep misplacing. It catches me in the door time sometimes and tries to straighten my collar, tries to get a word in, but I'm already in the pantry, arguing with expiration dates like they're ancient prophecies. It rehearses his pitch, runs the numbers, waits for silence, but I chase a refrigerator light reflection and forget it's in the room. It shadows me through laundry piles, through lukewarm shadows, and through mornings where the mirror looks like an unpaid bill. It tries to speak. I narrate the shampoo bottle like it's a crime documentary. Closed captions. Bad reenactments. Minimal plot. Addiction size. I pencil it into Thursday, but Thursday evaporates under bird facts, grocery lists, and a video of a raccoon zip lining on a clothesline. It tries again. Sets up candles, sets the stage, tries to dim the lights, but I'm repotting plants named after forgotten Greek gods who kept growing without worship. It places pamphlets on my pillow, signs them with urgency. I archive them into a folder labeled later, maybe, unlikely. It wants ritual. I dissolve structure, like sugar in overheated tea, stirring until its voice blurred. And still, there was a day I didn't move. The room tightened, air bent wrong. Something weightless leaned in with my name on its tongue. I felt myself nod. I didn't mean to, but the pot boiled over, and I stood up out of instinct or spite. Addiction took notes. I misplaced the pen. It tightened its tie. I wandered off. Addiction still knocks. 3 taps, same rhythm. But the clipboard creaks now when I don't answer. It added a new page yesterday. I swear it wasn't there before.
The only thing complimentary about today's meeting is the refreshments. When I do this National Lived Experience Conference recap presentation in a Midtown Manhattan high-rise office on Madison Avenue, I'm stocking up on free refreshments before I begin. And while I'm loading up on mini croissants, cinnamon raisin bagels, fancy herbal tea bags, and expensive K-cup coffee pods, I'll be practicing my lines. Don't touch me. I'm leaving. Just let me get one more mini croissant. Okay. I won't get one more mini croissant. Unhand me. I'll walk out on my own. That's what I'll say to security when they escort me out the building. I've been forcibly removed from the premises before. When you come home from a random junior high school day and see all the contents of your home outside your home on the curb like untreasured trash, you become desensitized to getting kicked out of places. Can't no security guard ever make me feel lower than the housing court sheriff's eviction squad. Nothing can bring me down more than the fall of 1982. Or was it 1983? My memory keeps getting evicted by the trauma response eviction squad. Profanity is not allowed. The Code of Professional Conduct, posted at the main entrance, clearly states slang and profanity are not allowed in a workplace setting. These nuts and bolts hold me together. A screw that's loose, lips, a broken levee, sink sponsorships, pink slips of the tongue, and HR write-ups be acting up in my mouth. My foot leaves a print on the company line I will not toe. If I don't pull the keep it a buck pin and toss real talk at a conference room full of hierarchy, I'll explode. Isn't today's meeting about homelessness? My community is tormented by suffering, plagued by death, ignored in ways that are obscene, and you want me to be polite. I might as well gather up my refreshment freebies now and go straight home to my prayer closet, because it's the only place where I can say what's truly in my heart. After I go nuclear, dropping every atomic F-bomb, every B that makes me itch, every A that modifies a whole, every piece of stark, heavy, inflammatory truth, my cuss word is bond. After choice language rises above the rim of my potty mouth, I exhale. I exhale still waters deep and let the quiet say whatever I've left unsaid. Then I pull a graphic t-shirt off a wire hanger and put it on. The one which clearly states, cussing is a self-love language.
Let's do it. Me and you, let's fall in love. Let's fool ourselves into falling in love. Let's think with our hearts and imaginations and not our minds, and let's believe that we're in love. I'll take all of your not trusting me and simply playing hard to get. It'll be cute, you know? Like just like back in elementary school. And you can take all of my lack of affection as me just having a hard time expressing my emotions. Because you know us guys have such a hard time at that. And you know what? I'll even make you feel better about yourself because I'll ask you to teach me how to love. Doesn't that sound good? Ooh, and when your parents say that I'm no good for you, you can go watch one of those movies and find comfort in the thought that in the Notebook, Alex's parents didn't like Noah, and look how they turned out. Dead, but smiling in each other's arms. That last shot always got me a little choked up myself. Come on, you can't help it that you're always attracted to us for you. Everyone always wants what's no good for them. So it's okay, right? Right. And me being jealous is just me showing you how much I care about you. And so what if I drink a lot and I only tell you I love you when I'm drunk? A drunk man never lies. But that's how you know that I truly mean it. And the fact that 90% of our time with each other is spent having sex just shows that we're addicted to each other. And when I sleep with your friend, just believe me when I say that I'm sorry and don't question how I was having sex with someone else but thinking about you the whole time. I just was, okay? Take me back and believe me each time I say that was the last time. I'll never do it again. Oh, and another thing, your friend shouldn't feel bad at all. There was so much romance in being the other woman. Are you kidding me? I'd kill to be for number two. Shit. Oh, and when I hit you those times and your best friend is telling you to leave me, just say, he didn't mean it. I know he loves me. And we'll be just like that song by that girl and that guy about a dysfunctional relationship. You know the one? Because even through all the fights, I still love you. You know that, girl. This is what love looks like. Passion driven, crazy in love, a beautiful mess. Things aren't supposed to get quiet till after we're married. Then everything will be just like the Huxtables. Yeah, so what are you waiting for? Come on, let's do it. Let's fall in love. Let's kiss and hug. You'll finally have someone to cuddle with at night. You know how jealous you've been of Crystal and her boyfriend down the hall. Let's fall in love. It'll be just like in the movies. Two fools in love, because two fools are always better than one. Neither one of us knows much about love, so we can figure it out together. We can fall in love. Don't be afraid. I'll catch you. Or better yet, we can catch each other. We can fall in love and be caught in the height.
I was never taught to be a child. I was only ever taught to stay quiet, taught to withhold truth without outright telling lies before I knew it could cost me. I always believed love was earned by merely showing up, doing as told. But over and over, I was told that I was too much and not enough, all at the same time. And now I'm just invisible. So I wrote louder, loved harder, shouted into blank pages, waiting for something to answer. Nothing ever did. And now I'm just angry. I will not rhyme pretty for your comfort. I will not apologize for the sharp edges of survival. I scream on paper because I was punished for screaming in real life, because the world turned down the volume and said, now, dear, be brave, be quiet. Well, fuck quiet. These poems are bloodletting. These lines are broken because I was. These poems don't soothe. They split open the quiet. They're not here to inspire. They're here to survive. I am not a metaphor for your healing journey. I am a warning sign, torn down, repainted in rage. This is not poetry. This is evidence. This is what it sounds like when a girl stops pretending and finally opens her throat. I was not born to be small, not carved from hush, not designed to disappear. I will not acquiesce or negotiate who I am with you. I will not barter my skin, trade soft spokenness for your comfort. I will not reshape my words to fit your blueprint. I will not shrink, smooth, hush, or squeeze into the closet of your design. I will not silence myself, not for you, not for the world, not for the ghost in the mirror who once begged to be small. I will not unbecome to make you whole, apologize for taking up air, for burning too bright, for loving too loud. I will not dim my shine, soften my blaze, or make my survival a polite antidote. I am unapologetic, unbargained, beautifully broken, and untouched by your demands.
Positionless poetry, horizontal king getting his flowers like Tiananmen Square tanks. Jet spray like Banksy, Yankee Doodle Dandy up in authoritarian airspace. Popping seedless grapes like popcorn graced by a gorgeous harem. Persian and Abyssinian girls milk the forest barren. Hair full of rose petals and hot goddess hormones. Commissioned sugar mama treatment, the most heartfelt poems came from war zones. Wild boar clones roam the animal farm, policing the goat thoughts in a brave new world. Enslaved two girls, turned them princess, and gave Blade Runners brave brain food pearls. Claimed smooth curls, pipelined the board straight through the space vortex. Hopping histories via spinal cord, time bandit in a full court press. Suffocating defense snuffs all known fire outlets. Vampire's prowess, munching on necks and spitting blood at an expired countess. Backwards mathematics flows like embarrassed linear tracks rerouted, touted as a salvage, tempering power for the inferno of knowledge. Hydrogen bounces. Bank balances remain fluid while I finagle the game like the merchant of Venice. Circles presented certain darkness. Kids don't play here when the moon is circumvented. Smirk is precious, how I keep them on their toes with weaponized joy. Perky breasts fill my water tank. I gigolo Joe with mechanized poise. Recognized noise, game recognized slay like facial awareness software, tagging the face of God in Hate's garage, producing technology, banging metal till devil worshippers praise Allah. Erase the laws, replace them with robotic primate desires as we all walk naked. Birthday suit stolen by switchblade on the gurney cut up, grinding the walls famous. Head chopped, sainted. Vagrants grow money and prestige, cosmic reimbursement. The verses I lurk in remain quoted by no other in an alleyway with darkness purchased. Sturgeons reinserted into the ocean after crawdads and bullheads are retained. It's a game of favorites, how I select my slang before catching the freight train. Apes flame like the Israelite sword bargained for by worthless settlers. Treasure the tremors, hot public records coordinated by rogue jazz measures. In Google Cloud 9, I gatekeep the files and papers chasing William Cooper. Brilliant future manifests itself by an omnipresence of chameleon loopers. Troopers by the tens of thousands flock to the carcinoma clinic just to witness the healing. Lady of Fatima replaced by paradolic ambiguity, a court that Nixon's appealing. Ledger domain abounds, sounds out the pronouns to born trans bodies. Sand-colored bland coffee ran Nazis out the regime to establish blacks godly. Swatting rocks out the finger roll, pigeonholed by a superstar cheerleader whose form called forth prophets to embarrass the rear guards previously feared thinkers. Queer is deeper than sex. I'm a threat to the status quo, affirmed and census reported. Vote for Pedro's resources, pink forest a crotch, and pinko ega, methods distorted. At a pace that sketched the absorbent orbit of a tortured soul that depths aborted.
My pen learned it is a god in these streets. I'm 3D in a 2D poetry community. When I speak, the ground shakes. And it's time I up the ante. I'm going to put my finger on the trigger till it's done. I have a new reason to smile. God gave me some inspiration, and if confidence was a crime, I'd be locked up for life. Since this stage is mine, you can pay rent for stepping on it. I traded tears to finance my dreams to feed my addiction. So you could stop frisking my metaphors, trying to strip my truth. For when truth hit the mic, the world had to listen because healing had harmony before it had language. And that's when they outlawed our stories, so we had to smuggle them in stanzas. Now, the joke is on you. Clout is a hell of a drug, and hell is catching receipts for all the pain it caused me. And I never gave up. I just chose to walk away, and that's when I stood face to face with the eye of the storm. And the only reason I'm still here is because I refused to just be a poet. Now I dare you to stop me. I built an appetite for stepping on necks, running out of grace to give, catching a vibe rather than catching a case. When I took the mask off, I saw you were everything I wanted, but nothing I needed. And I'm no longer comfortable with complacency, shape-shifting for others' emotions. Moreover, your apologies sit comatose, fingering my syllables, and if the crown is heavy, then I'm built for it. For better or worse, I'm betting on myself. Protecting your time and energy isn't selfish. It's strategic. Turning diplomas into graves with bruised egos, this is your lesson on how to be real. For when the lights are off, I shine differently. And even danger knows I'm dangerous. So please remember, every saint has a past and every sinner has a story, and I will fight bloody like my ancestors. Now, I'm done playing fair. It all comes down to this. I'm not your past mistake, so you no longer serve me purpose. Your departure was for the better. If you're not impressed, you don't have a heartbeat. I wrote this in spilled ink and heavy tears, writing scripture with a switchblade. That's the beauty of my pen. My soul's not for sale. And furthermore, think twice before speaking my name.
They speak my name now, but only after flame taught their mouths to tremble. I move like shadow made sentient between thresholds they pretend not to see. I mean, who else wears silent like skin? Storm-laced, crown-lit. They mistook my stillness for sleep. Didn't know I was in ritual drafting thunder with gods older than memory. I see you, but I don't fear you. My crown hovers held by nothing, obeyed by all. And queens don't quarrel. You traced my pitch, but missed the source, mimicked the mirror and fractured your own mouth, Gathered the offcuts of my soliloquies, draped them like revelation, called it reverence. You stood in the residue of my rights and mistook the shimmer for shape. Poor thing. Calling down storms with thunder stitched from theater. Even the rain refuses to recognize you. I am the spell. You are the stumble. Masquerading as invocation, you chase the pattern braided into me before breath. I don't wear divinity. I am it. You wear goddess like a garment. Watched me rise, thought altitude alone would anoint you, and even if you wore my words, they'd blister off your body. You came from my crown. Now drown. In the ink you thought was ocean. This space speaks only in text that breathes. I bled verses that bowed to no lens while you chased eyes and mistook them for eternity. You move like shadow cast by someone else's frame. Followed the outline but missed the offering. Borrowed form but never earned the flame. Ashe, oh Moiro. Power doesn't fear shadows. They chant in dialects older than obedience, the ones who gave the power to move through me. I move through time the way stone survives rain and reshaped but unspoken. I drink moonlight from mirrors that do not reflect. They remember. I remain. And the meaning remakes itself around me. They whisper what they think is my name, but the syllables dissolve before reaching the root. They scrape verses from my breath and call the residue revelation, call down presence and found permanence. Ashe, Oma, Eru. They'll spend lifetimes trying to translate my stillness. And then I heard the ones who guard my name lean toward the moment and speak. Let them mimic. Let them gather your syllables like fallen teeth. They'll chew them until the blood returns, but they'll never find the state. They'll never find you. Because the source was never the syllables, it was what you held without asking the world to watch.
While reading a blue softcover Gideon Bible and meditating on the scripture, Judges chapter 6, verse 12, the angel of the Lord appeared before me and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty poet. Fuck them judges." Respectfully, the phrase, "only God can judge me," the title of a Tupac Shakur song, it's not true. People get judged all the time, and it's not by God. Attention, we interrupt this extremely judgmental poem with a brief haiku. When Judgment Day comes, will defendants of color receive a fair trial? My grandmother, Lily Francis, loved to watch TV judges. Judy, Lynn Toler, Maybelline, Marilyn, Millian, Mathis, and of course, Karen Mills Francis. I love watching footage of Judge Bruce Cut 'em Loose Wright, an honorable jurist and poet from Harlem. His gavel banged on racism and ruled in favor of bail reform. When your grandmother dies and you can't watch People's Court with her anymore, and a duplicitous reverse mortgage company seizes the family home she fully paid for, and there's no mighty man of valor like Judge Wright to make it right, it makes you feel like a poet who got judged unfairly in a poetry slam. In my major motion biopic, it'll show Veterans Day as the day my villain arc started. The moment I turned heel. After competing in a virtual poetry slam, I came in last place. Out of 14 poets, them judges ranked me 15th. The level of disrespect was MAD, mammoth, astronomical, dairy. Them judges had to be drinking milk with the red top because my score on a whole amounted to 25.7. They straight shitted on me. X-lax, bubble guts, colonoscopy prep shitted on me. The judge from France gave me 8.3. On the SAT exam, you get an 8.3 just for writing your name right. If I live as long as Judge Gideon from the Bible, according to Judges 832, he died at a good old age. I'll be on my deathbed, releasing my final breath, and my son will lean in close to hear me gasp. Israel enjoyed 40 years of peace in Gideon's lifetime. Them judges chose violence. Them judges Gaza'd me. Fuck them judges. I can't let it go. My zodiac sign is Cancer. I have a Phyllis Hyman sun and a kiss my ass moon with a Mary Woodson throwing hot grits on Al Green rising. My chart is petty heavy. If you fuck me and don't take me out to eat first or give me a peck on the cheek after, the only thing that'll stop me from writing a color purple hex poem will be Mercury retrograde. Until you do right by me. Fuck them judges. After they gave me that 25.7, I wanted to leave the IG live, but I stayed on to save face. I took the disrespect on the chin, leaving the taste of eating Jim Crow in my mouth. It ate away at me like pancreatic cancer all night long. Flashbacks, laughing emojis in the comment section, but my funny bone is dislocated. When I'm incredibly isolated like Sylvia Plath, I gaslight myself. It's my fault. Poor poem selection. I should have chose trauma or performed angrier. I'm tired of getting shitted on. White America been shitting on my people for decades. I look at photos of lynchings and tell myself, I scored that a 25.7. Sometimes I use decimal points to stop myself from tying self-harm around my ideations. I think about James Baldwin. I must be an optimist. I must gain perspective. I can't forget George Junius Stinney Jr., a black child executed by the state of South Carolina. They used the Bible as a booster seat so the electric chair's metal plate could make contact with his head. 70 years later, Stinney's conviction is vacated due to fundamental unfairness and the denial of due process. As I process the unfairness of slam poetry and chant "fuck them judges" like a mantra, I think about George Stinney being electrocuted at 14. I think about my dear mama being raped and impregnated at 14. I think about my ancestors and how they didn't go through the middle passage just for me to get a 25.7. Fuck them judges. Respectfully.
Science. Man, they tried to steal science, true mathematics. And I watch these words get erected and some try to check it, but they miss. I see you. Like a slingshot without the hiss of a snake, you think it's bliss. But my words are quick, like a sounding prophet blowing the trumpet on you. Your time is wasted. Never ever be complacent in this rhyme style I use. So it's something simple I'm gonna say. Peace to the God of this manuscript, this lyrics hit. It rhymes to stay legit. It be omnipotent. The eargasms vibrate while I tell the truth in this scribe as this pen gets high and it goes on a roller coaster ride. But I try to peek and see, but it becomes 90 degrees and the pen starts to bleed and I gasp at this unusual sight. But the blue lines, they form barbed wires. This is truly my fire and desire to be the supreme sire. While I see those wood papers just dissolve within the cipher. Yeah, I grab that lighter and find the stray hydro that I had last night to watch these letters fight. And the verbal seeds attack through the night. Now I'm sighted through paper. They travel through my mind. I hold on for the fear of knowing that if I let go, this paragraph will explode. And you know that's a no-no. Can't expose the flow before I get to show and prove that the anesthetic is what's left now to flex. And let this paper holler for a cop. Let this paper holler for a cop. I see you. You should have struck the rock, but you bit it.
Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I gotta keep on writing. Yo, just give me a page or a sheet. And I could write more in a day than some people write in a week. And that's why I gotta fight for my speech. See, I use words. I use words like weapons. And my mouth always popping off. See, I add flames to the fire. I turn a metaphor into Molotovs. Sometimes a poem is bombs over Baghdad and the stanza feels like the Holocaust, but when it goes around and comes back around, how much does karma really cost? See, if the treasure is in your chest, and were you ever really lost? Because I've been found. See, I be sound. You know, I do, re, me, because it's about me. See, I be locked into the music, but my vocal cords, they be the key. And that's why I stay on key. See, I got a key in the tempo, for the tempo of the time. And first I was a little worried, but then I realized that every good boy does. So now I shine. I shine like diamonds. I shine like gold. I shine like sun. They said the word was with God. Well, I guess my will shall be done. But I'm not done. I'm not done showing y'all my evidence. Meaning, if I die on death ears, then this body of work, well, it's just my last will and testament. So it's either I give you this rhetoric or I give you a revenant. Because it's evident that the evidence is this relevance. They said my bars was way too bougie. I said, just put some respect on my elegance. I don't want you to get lost without directions. Just address me like the elephant. And whatever you do, don't insult me or my intelligence. See, my brain is an expression so you can come experience all my excellence. It's excellence. Because I don't just excel, I exhale. I breathe life into dead trees, turn paper, papyrus, and parchment. See, they could try to deny, but it's I who is the compartment. You see the way I hold all this art in? It's in here on my insides. They said I give words of wisdom and I don't have to let my pen hide, so I don't hide. But now I seek. So if life is just a game, then you can find me when I speak. They say closed mouths don't get fed. Well, all I have is food for thought, so please, just let me eat. See, entendres are endless, so be thankful for me giving y'all this feast. It's a feast. So as we feast, just give me a page or a sheet. And I could write more in a day than most people write in a week. See, I write because I'm a poet, and a poet's job is to speak. So as we speak, I want you to speak even when you're not spoken to. Because as a poet, we write. And sometimes that's all you can do. Because can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I gotta keep on writing. So keep writing. Sincerely.
I think about the trees. I think about how they are used, ironically, as metaphors for family, how generations exist according to their roots, how branches are considered extensions of the bloodline. I think about the literal purpose of them, which is to help us breathe, and how that conflicts with their history. A history which assisted in taking breath away from so many. A history that I'm sure even the trees, being a living thing, never fathomed this use of them. I think about how they were an unwilling accessory to so many crimes, crimes against humanity. So sick, the sap has been overflowing continuously from generation to generation, repeatedly. How they were repurposed as a tool for crucifixion, for those to hang and die by asphyxiation, forcefully destined as a prop in the demise of Christ, while longingly awaiting their new role per revelation as the tree of life. How they were used to build ships that brought precious cargo to a strange land and later laden with strange fruit by the hands of evil man, like ornaments on a Christmas tree. Do you suppose the trees suffer from tree TSD? Could the trauma been passed deep down to the roots of so many with no option of therapy? so overwrought in their misery that their times of torment were plenty. Possibly the urge to take their own lives in order to not be accomplices anymore. It's no surprise that some ended up petrified because of their participation before. Perhaps that is what causes some of them to shrivel up and die. No wondering why. I'm amazed at the resiliency that, regardless of generational trauma, that many overcome. Perhaps those are the stronger ones. They continue to bloom despite the torment that must consume them with gloom. That they low-key throw shade on their abusers during heinous acts, such as hangings and, of course, picnics that are packed as spectators are eager for the attacks for their amusement, but provided a blanket of cover over the abused, and perhaps the leaves are recording these acts as the cell phones are currently, but with no way of exposing the proof. How they were transformed and later transcribed on in regards to inhumane laws. How their cousins were later intertwined as instruments of discipline and, ironically, used by the very descendants of whom died by them. How they're morphed into currency, which the love of this is considered the root of all evil currently. How not enough of it could adversely cause the destruction of self. I think about the stories they could tell, the secrets they could share from those roots that have preceded them. If trees could speak.
Whips and chains. I love my master because he gave me whips and chains. Shit, I can't wait to hang with these other niggas throwing off my new whips and chains. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a nigga by the toe. I'll do you one better. Let's catch him by his thoughts. Tell him the drugs he sought fuel songs of relief. The joys of freedom only came from being owned by me, or should I say them? Because I'm this mindless drone, do what I'm told, because while I live, I'd rather die for whips and chains, put it on his back. That whipshaw came with 22s. You can get one too, long as the record move. Here, I help you groove. Flash money, flash gun, kill a nigga. Pills power my will, I get bitches too. What the bitches do? I don't even know. It's what I'm told to do. Ain't much change in this digital age. Albums at master and hope it picked enough cotton sales, or I'ma be a runaway slave. Out of breath, so I'm hiding on a shelf as a tax write-off. Where's the overseer? I mean A&R. Pointing his AR at the heart of y'all who dream to be stars, but mostly find prison bars. Prison song, publishing agreement. No record without a record. Do they even make records? It's about the streams. Gula Geechee. So it's Gucci from St. Simons to Atlanta. If I bag a Sarah Ballman, here is a story from my Walkman. I was born underwater with $3 and 6 dimes. Yeah, you may laugh because you didn't do your math. That 360 deal is why Masters at the banquet laughs. I need an advance, just a couple of lashes. I know I'm chattel, but I can stunt for the gram. I'll be one of the greatest. That is a vow, yeah, that is a promise. Always wanted to be famous, just being honest. And I don't mind chains if you add in a diamond. Is it just me? Or the noose is getting shorter. Jesus, peace closer to your throat to make sure he hear those freedom prayers. Only built for Cuban links. Remember when that album dropped from the charts? God forbid you drop from the charts. Quote your hype for the hangman drop chart. Last words for the plea deal. Hung jury. Oh, you beat that case. Just to put it in a jewel case. I'm so old, still talking about them damn CDs. Hell, I remember when my first one scratched. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, your own. I protect your neck. I got a diamond in the back. It's trap or die, nigga, for diamonds and gold. Chill. Whip, whip, Toby. Whip, 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 Toby. Whip, whip, Toby. Whip, whip, whip. Say my name, Toby. Sitting sideways down in the valley where the girls get naked. Strange. All this lean can't hold my lane. That Texas swing. Don't talk about love unless it's drugs. Remember, Master Persuader with his whips and chains. Your fame degrading? Oh, don't worry. We got a plan. Take this camera, expose your bedroom man, excite social media banter, and boom, there's a million streams off of gossip and chatter. Did I say streams again? There's got to be something in the water. Well, where's the hook? A classic bait and switch. Oh, you ain't know Viacom learned to fish from Willie Lynch. I know. I'm up here starting shit. But how bizarre is it to calmly pitch that hip-hop became a slave trade? The audience is brain dead. The radio of a mass grave crossing the Atlantic is the airways. Look, I'm not hating. Do your thing. Make your change. I just wanted to start a conversation how music's starting to seem like whips and chains.
Woo! I wish I would have had more Ric Flair. Yet I had more ups and downs than the patterns on a Richter scale. My confidence was shaky. And I had to go through a major undertaking because I wore a smile like a mask, hiding how much my mind was demented. Wreaking havoc, riding, ready to explode. I was wired different like the wired Sixth Sense. I was stuck in my own matrix. I had to do some code switching. I was shadowboxed with my reflection. So this prayer comes with punches and petitions. By the God, they heard my pleas. Now they got my back signed off and now they vouch for me. So now, even when a storm is coming, I got a spirit as strong as Mark Henry. Because back then, instead of embracing my natural, I rested in too much in self-resentment. Then I got relaxed. And instead of being a complete me, I felt the need to shrink me until I became compact. I was in my middle Mortal Kombat. I compartmentalized my heart and boxed everybody out like it was a coffin match. I was suffocating on self-deprivation and it was devastating. I didn't see the value in my life, so instead of adding, I started to subtract because I felt less than and I may heal my habitat. I wallowed in my mistakes, so what do you call that? Eternal damnation? Yeah, I thought I deserved that. I felt destined to be forsaken. A real HBK in the making. And there was no tender loving care that had ripped me of despair. No crowd screaming for me here. I just felt emptied in the stands surrounding the wrestling ring during COVID-19. My way of thinking was that since I'm not perfect, I must be worthless. I let those hurdles hinder me and I wanted to be the one that was phenomenal, but the weight of that self-doubt and anxiety became astronomical. No last woman standing. The vipers drained me one after another like it was a gauntlet match, each one stronger than the next. So the positivity started to plummet. I let those little voices in my head come together like the Kage Summit. They convinced me that I was inadequate. So the awesome truth was I had to learn to be my own advocate, because life put me through the ringer and almost had me pinned down. So putting on a brave face became my signature move after every hard lesson. But it didn't make the pain lessen. I just fell deeper into depression. A part of me wanted to break the mold, but suffering became too familiar. I was scared of change because there was too many unknown variables. So I just played my part and ended up getting stuck in character mode like Heath Ledger. I was too afraid of people seeing the real me, wondering if they would even listen when I speak. I had a real fear of getting rejected instead of accepted. So damn feeling oozy. No yeet, cut the lights off. I want to hear that final bell ding. I was ready to go to sleep and rest in peace for eternity. Yet when I tried to take comfort of being quiet for so long, my silence learned how to sing. Fast forward to the present, now here I am marching to my own beat, tugging at heartstrings. So watch me as I let these tears stream. And may the hymns of my hurt finally be released, because this new rhythm of healing feels more like home to me. This is the best I've felt in years. So the sounds of my inner peace sounds music to my ears.
My mother always said in her younger days, raising us kids, that she was looking forward to her senility. I could never understand what she meant until now. When the pressures of life and raising a family can be a financial and emotional burden on one's mental health. Love never had anything to do with it. My mother was a tough love parent. There was no days too hot or cold to be outside or stuffed up in an attic hiding from her. At least we didn't get locked in closets or basements, as some of my peers have later confessed to being. We survived the mayhem. Some know better for the wear and tear on our psyche. That's what counselors get paid for, right? Their sole purpose is to make money off of other people's trauma, not necessarily to fix anyone, although that may be a side effect of treatment. Perhaps this is why many people prefer to remain trapped in their own minds. It is a familiar place that is well known to them, and not as scary as doing the work it takes to free themselves from the past. And then I wrote 4 mom haikus. Hypochondriac, OCD mom white glove test. You're not good enough. Narcissist mother, circular conversations, not interested. She's not listening, thinking of what to say next. Play one-upmanship. What happened to her? Keeping trauma close to chest. We will never know.
The rain stops falling because I cause the sunshine, not from my own power, but from the holy word. I'm the echo of God's promise, the quiet place where his light chooses to rest. I carry his light the way dawn carry a new day. When I rise, shadows lose the storms often, and the skies remember who committed it to shine. The cloud pulled back in their awe because they recognize the fingerprints of God and the way my spirit gleams. And his words declare, let your light shine before others. Matthew 5:16. His residence in me cannot be hidden in every bow to the sunshine. He chooses for me to carry. There were days when the storms tried to calm me, when my tears were harder than the clouds could bear. But God whispered, you are not your rainfall. You are the dawn I created. You are not the storms anymore. You are the storms, and now the storms know my name. Not because I fear it, because I survived it. And now the God within me turned my survival into sunshine. I only stay if you trust me. I walked out of the house, closed the door, handed the key back to the shadows that once tried to make a home in me. But loving you feels like stepping to a sunlit garden where every doubt is just a weed. Pull it up or grows where it shouldn't. So when you doubt me, you're doubting my words. But God took my hand, led me to a living river, and said, drink here, begin again. I only stay if you trust me. Trust God who never fails, the one who holds your heart and meant what the words has never broken. His words carry away the ashes of old pain filling me. The hope I thought was lost, I kept trying to light the way, but you kept choosing the shadows you were used to. It wasn't me who walked away. It was the truth you never gave me for me to love you. I stand on it. I walk like my words got weight, like every step I take shakes the doubt off my name. I earned this tone and power, this version of me nobody dismissed. Say my name with respect, cause every word I spoke is grown folks season, and stuck with God's given grief. Every lesson left in me, and every loss I had lit a fire in me. I stand 10 toes down, no wobble, no wish, when it comes to talking about JaNiaya. You taught me what leaving looks like, what I don't deserve. Now I love myself louder than I ever loved y'all. Thank you for showing me the person I could be without showing me